So, do you have that business yet? If not, why not? What's stopping you? What is stopping you? What is stopping you? You know, um, remember we talked about in the previous video that it could be your belief system that's stopping you. Is it your current belief system? What is stopping you? You know, are you still stuck in that job that stresses you out? Are you still stuck in that job that gives you anxiety? Are you still stuck in that job as an introvert in that large office with all that, trivial talk? Is it driving you nuts? You know, on a more serious note, it can cause anxiety. You know, there are people that have been in jobs for too long that doesn't suit their temperament, and it has caused anxiety, real anxiety in the long run. There are people that really don't want to see anybody now because they've been in jobs where they've had to deal with people, and that's members of the staff. And if you're in customer services, it can be quite tough because some customers are very difficult. Especially if they've been on the phone for a long time, they finally get through to you at the call center. It can be very difficult, and they take it out on the person on the other end of the phone line. So things like this can stress people out, and I did say in the previous video, if you can, try your best and find a way to ease out of this 9 to 5. And it could be something like looking for courses in your area that may help you to develop skills. But first of all, you need to know what you are good at. You need to know what you like doing. Are you the kind of person that is, maybe might make a very good massage therapist, like myself. I mean, that's what I did. When I came out of 9 to 5, I came out of the off. My story, again, for people that don't know, is that I was working in offices for years, hated it, just was not my scene. Large offices, surrounded by lots of people, lots of trivia. Just routine. The 9 to 5 thing just didn't suit me at all. I did it, but I just really, I knew it wasn't doing me much good, And then I left the 9 to 5. Then I went to university, went into teaching. I actually taught in further education colleges, so maybe it's not as intense as in the schools, because I did have a stint actually in higher education as well for a year. That was better, although you do have different issues in higher education. But it's I think the further education, even in further education though, there were still attitudes, that they don't want to be there. The only difference with further education is that you could tell them to leave, leave the classroom, because most they're over 18, so they're adults, technically adults. Whereas obviously in schools it's a very different scenario, and it's very different. It's a very different system. So, but teaching generally is quite stressful anyway. Even if you have good students. Even if you have good students, because there is so much paperwork, there's so much extra that goes into teaching these days, and it is a very stressful career. So, if you're a teacher and that's stressing you out, consider what other skills you may have or that you may be able to develop. I know teachers don't have much time at all to think, because that job is 24/7. If you're not careful, it can easily be 24/7. There's always something to do in teaching. I remember one occasion when I was teaching. I was kind of new to teaching at the time, and I had all these assignments to mark, as you do in teaching. Had all these assignments to mark, and I was up until about 11, after 11, marking all this work, and then I had to be in 9 o'clock. Well, what had happened, just to backtrack a little bit, I was also teaching evening classes, because I was, remembering further education, teaching evening classes, and my evening classes finished at 9. I had to travel an hour to get back home, so I got home around 10. And then I realised how, you often have marking to do, and it was for the next day, and I started at 9 the next day. So it was like that. And I remember being extremely tired, but as a new teacher, I really wanted to get all this marking done. And so I was ploughing through it, managed to get through all of it, finally got to bed, who knows what time, I think it was about 1 o'clock, something like that. And then, I had to be up the next day early, drive for an hour to get to the college that I was teaching at. And 9 o'clock, rushing, no breakfast, eating an apple on the way there, driving on the motorway, eating an apple. It was not a good idea. But it was just so stressful. That was years ago, by the way. That was quite a few years ago. So it's very stressful. And also, when I got there, and about to hand the work in to the students, realised the student wasn't there. Some of the students weren't there. And I was, in the break time, I was trying to chase these students just to see where they were. Were they in the smoking room? Are they looking for these students? And then, got back to the staff room and feeling quite demoralised, thinking, I've marked all this work. This was the end of term, by the way. The end of term. And I'd marked all this work, and only to say, most of them have gone on holiday. That particular student gone to Spain, and I was like, I remember feeling so demoralised. As a new teacher, I was looking for these students. I even went into the smoking room. I don't even smoke, looking for them. I looked in the canteen. I was thinking, what am I doing, And I remember that really did have an effect on me, because I was thinking, why am I doing this? They don't even care. So why do I care so much? They don't care. And I looked at the assignment, looked at all the markings I'd done on them. That I thought about how late I'd stayed up the night before, and then I thought, well, she just doesn't care. This student doesn't care. In fact, there was a few of them, and I remember just trying to bend over backwards, trying to help some students, and they just weren't having it. They were just there for the EMA, because they, get an education maintenance allowance. I'm not sure if they still do, actually, but when I was teaching, that's what they had. And I thought that they just seemed to care about just getting the form signed. And, the form was often carried in an A4 folder, and no other schoolwork was, cared for in such a manner. So it was just so sad, really. And there were lots of other instances that were quite stressful. Then you have to deal with some of the parents. Even though at 18, that wasn't so much of an issue, but we still had parents' evening for those parents that, obviously wanted to come. And some of those were a little bit awkward as well, difficult parents. So it's not a rewarding career anymore. I mean, I'm sure back in the day it was a very rewarding career when discipline was a thing. Yeah, anyway. So if you're stuck in a 9 to 5, whatever it is, whatever it might be, when you have a spare moment, always write down your goals, write down what you would like to achieve, think about your skills. What kind of skill set do you have? Listen to other people. What do they think you're good at? If you don't know yourself, think about what have people said to you in the past that you're good at? In the past when I was younger, people said, oh, you've got such a lovely touch, if you massage a scalp or something. Oh, you've got a really nice sensitive touch. You have a nice touch. And I was thinking, hey, it doesn't really register at the time, but years later it did. I thought about it because I sat down, took the time, sat down and thought, well, what am I good at? What else could I be good at? So yeah, it's just a matter of having some quiet moments. I mean, if you're really that busy, try getting up a little bit earlier, and and having a good think, you know. Like I said in the previous video, write down your current belief systems, you know, about whatever area you want to grow in. And write down a list of them. It could be over 27. I think when I did mine, I went down to about 27 of things, you know, in a particular area. It could be family, it could be money, it could be career, obviously. It could be even, you know, reasons why I feel I can't, you know, start a YouTube channel. It could be anything that you want to grow in. Write down your current belief system. You know, for example, you know, I did go into detail a little bit the previous video, but, you know, for example, if you think you're not good enough to do a YouTube video, oh, nobody's going to listen to me, oh, I'm not pretty enough to go on YouTube, you know, or things like, I can't talk in front of a camera. Well, you know, you can write all those current beliefs down, list them, every single one of them. Doesn't matter if you get to 50, you know, mine, you know, whatever it is, just write them all down. And then on another sheet of paper or in your notebook, write down antonyms to each one of those beliefs. You know, the opposing, the opposite. So, for example, you know, if you don't think you're good enough to make YouTube videos or to go to college or whatever it is, write down, I know I'd be great. I'm great. No, speaking the present tense, I know I'm great at studying. I know I'm great at YouTube videos. I have a successful YouTube channel. You know, you can just write. It might seem really way out at first when you're writing these things down, because they are, quite frankly, compared to where you are. But when you do that, it gives your mind something to aim towards, right? And sometimes you will surprise yourself, you know, when you look back and you think, did I just write that? Wow, I'm doing that now. You'll be able to look at your list, you know, in the future, hopefully not too distant future, and find that you are doing at least most of those things on the list, you know. So sometimes the more way out they are, the better, because you can stretch towards them, and you read them every day, yeah. Just, you know, just before you go to bed or early in the morning, just go through the antonym list. And then the third thing you need to do is the affirmation, the visualization, yeah? Visualization. Visualize something pleasant while you're reading the antonym list, yeah? Because emotions play a large part in how we, you know, experiences are very impactful on our minds. So an emotion it upgrades the belief system to an experience, and that's what you want. Yeah, you want a pleasant emotion while you're going through your affirmations. Yeah, so, you know, those things are really very helpful. I mean, I've started to do that, and I you know, I'm starting to feel it more at ease at doing certain things that I wanted to grow in. Yeah, and then you think, well, what was I worried about? You know, it's because of these limiting belief systems that we have. You know, we're so concerned, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm not pretty enough. You know, who cares really? Nobody really cares. I mean, you know, it's just a matter of having something to share and wanting to help other people. That's what matters. And I think people, you know, that will resonate with a lot of people. I mean, you know, if I came on here all pristine and everything, you'd probably think, oh, she's not real, you know, she's just fake, you know, she's probably spent 3 hours trying to do her hair and whatever, face. But no, you can see I don't. You know, this is just me. I'm just myself, just natural. But also doing things that would be unnatural to me a few years ago, you know, like even doing a YouTube video, and being comfortable in front of the camera would be difficult for me probably many years ago. But now I'm just, you know, you get to a point in life where you just think, you know what, life's too short. You need to help people. And, you know, if you've learned something, if you've got something that you can teach, do it, you know. It's a good thing to do, and it's quite rewarding. And it's not difficult, you know. This isn't taking much of my time. I'm just sitting here thinking anyway of I'm doing things that I like doing, you know. So that's what's nice about it. I'm actually doing something I enjoy doing. I mean, like I say, I didn't go into teaching for no reason. I actually enjoy teaching, but what I didn't like was all the paperwork and everything else that surrounded it. So, you know, this is my way of incorporating a kind of teaching, if you like, aspect into my YouTube videos, but it's obviously very informal. Yeah, so yeah, and I've mentioned before that I did leave my office work years ago, went into teaching, stressful, came out of teaching, um, had a family, 3 children, um, and then, you know, more the 2 of them have grown now. I've still got my younger one with me. So I decided, you know, what can I do now? You know, then I remembered, somebody said, you know, you have a good touch. And, you know, I thought, there's a college not far from where I live. Maybe I could see what they have there. And I did explain before that, you know, I had to do a whole year of beauty therapy first before I could actually get onto the massage course. And at first I was thinking, oh dear, because I really just wanted to go straight to the massage course, just do that. Because I'm thinking, oh no, it's 2 years. Ugh. But, you know, it went so quickly. And I am so grateful now that I did the beauty therapy, because there are elements on that course that I use today. I do. I use them as part of my services that I do, and they work so well alongside massage therapy, and also it gives me a nice variety as well. So it's just lovely. It worked quite well in the end. Like I said, I did point out there were other things that I didn't enjoy doing when I was doing the massage therapy course, and things like lashes, tanning. Although tanning was fun, really. It was fun. It's not something I would offer, but it was just a fun thing to do. And of course, we had to study makeup as well, which I just saw as colouring. You know, I just saw it as colouring on someone's face. But I did have a difficult time actually doing that, because I was surrounded by these beautiful young people, and I was thinking, why am I messing their face up with these colours? Because I wasn't very good at it. And but, you know, I managed to do it, because I started to see it as, it's like a colouring. It's just like colour therapy. You know, that's how I saw it in the end. And so I just saw it as a bit of fun. But it was just a means to get to where I wanted to go. And that was my massage. That was the main thing I wanted to focus on. So I knew I had to do certain things I didn't want to do in order to get to what I really wanted to do. So my mind being the way it is, I perceived makeup as just a bit of fun. You know, it's just a bit of colouring on the course, colouring for adults on the course. So that's how I got through that. Whereas the lashes, I just couldn't find a way to make that fun at all. Oh, dude. You know, so yeah, that was something. Sorry there, I thought my battery was a bit low. I just need to plug it in actually, just to make sure that we don't lose each other. Sorry about this. And just plug it in. I think that should be working now. Sorry, this is a mess. Just messed that up. Okay, right. Are we back? Yeah, it's still with me? Yeah. So basically that's what I was saying, that I managed to get through the level 3 course by the way I thought, actually. Yeah, I just perceived it as colouring, or I just perceived you know, as much as I could anyway. But yeah, I did enjoy it. So, you know, and it went so quickly. It really did. The 2 years went so quickly. And then, like I explained, that I was able to set up my own business pretty much after that, actually. I managed to get a grant to set my business up. And, you know, I always say, if I can do it, you can do it too. Definitely. I mean, I'm not anything special, as you can see. I'm really not. I'm just so chilled. I'm generally quite laid back person, as you can see, and I'm just an ordinary person, as you can see clearly, so it's just a matter of the way you think. And that's why I can't emphasize enough that belief mindset. If you write down your current beliefs, limiting beliefs about a particular area that you want to grow in, right? And then your antonyms, and then your visualizations, and you know, imagine something very pleasant alongside going through your affirmations. It will really help you. And just review them each morning, just quickly, just about 2 minutes, just have a quick look at them. You could even have a vision board, which is another nice thing. It's just pictures. A vision board is basically just pictures of things that you want to achieve. So, for example, if you want to earn more money, just some pictures of some money on the wall. Or if you want to, in my case, my vision board was basically, I did need to earn some money because I was, I was, I was at home with children for a while, and so I didn't have any money of my own for quite a while, and so that was something that I felt I needed to develop. So I did put some pictures of some money on the wall, just on an A4 sheet of paper, and you might want pictures of other things. Like I put a picture of a treatment room up on the wall, and other things that I wanted to grow in, and they were just there. It was effortless for me to glance at them in the morning. They were just on the wall, in a frame. You can have them in a frame if you want. Buy a special frame, print off some pictures that you can find on the internet or elsewhere, wherever you find your pictures, images, and create a vision board. You don't want any writing necessarily, because it is a vision board, so it's pictures. And that does imprint on your mind as well a lot. I do encourage people to create vision boards because they are very, very helpful alongside the affirmations. So you don't have to read anything, they're just pictures, they're instantly into the brain, aren't they? So, that's fantastic. I hope this is helpful, and I really hope that you do this list. I'm trying to encourage you to do this list because it's really, really helpful. It's helped me a lot. I mean, I like I said, I have never had a business before. In fact, my parents didn't have a business. In fact, am I the first one to have a business? I might well be, actually. I think I am. That was quite interesting. So basically, just get that list done. What are you waiting for? I want you to do it now. And in the comments, tell me that you have done this list. I want you to write down your 20 plus, whatever the number is, of the items that you want to grow in. Then counteract it with antonyms. And I want you to have belief system that could be a little bit far-fetched, but that's fine, because that's something you're going to aspire to. And then a list of affirmations, you can, a kind of summary of your antonym list, right, of the real things that you want to achieve. And just imagine some emotions, positive emotions alongside that. But just comment and put down in the comments when you have written the first list, right? And then, or maybe you should write the first list and the second list. That would be fantastic. Just say, done it. Yeah, that would be fantastic, because I'd be so pleased to hear the journey of some of you as well. If anybody's watching this and learning, it would be great to hear that. It'd be really fun. So I'm going to keep motivating you. I'm going to keep on pushing you to do that list. And I won't stop. So get it done. Okay. Good seeing you, and take care.